Well, it is 10:05, and I am under strict orders to be out of here by 10:15, and I'll tell you why. I wasn't planning to be here this weekend. This is one of those weekends where we were supposed to be voting on Friday night, and we're supposed to be voting on Monday, and of course there's snow in Chicago, there was ice and sleet and snow in Washington, D.C., and so we made a decision not to come. And then last minute it looked like the weather was turning around a little bit. So we got here, and I called Sandra Crosnoe last night, and I asked if I could come, and she said yes. We have a basketball game today. Walker is our little basketball player, and we've got to get back to Tulsa by 11:30 so he can play basketball. And but I'll tell you what, it's important to be here. This is an important group. You guys are doing very important work. What I'd like to say is we're in 2014 now. We are in 2014. This is the year the president knew he needed to get to as it relates to Obamacare. Why? Because 2014 is the year when he addicts the American people to the subsidies at the exchanges. It's the year when the expansion of Medicaid occurs. And Ronald Reagan said that the closest thing to eternal life on earth is a new government program. And he said that because the constituency of dependency, once created, it can never be eliminated. And I'm here to tell you that in Washington, D.C., where we are right now, I frankly don't, this is not a problem that will be solved from Washington, D.C., because Republicans as well as Democrats don't have the appetite to, punish the constituency of dependency. And it's not about punishment. The challenge is, if you were to say that that you make $94,000 a year as a family of four, and I guess under Obamacare, depending on where you live in the country, you're going to get subsidies for your health care. That's where we are. If you make I've got people in my office that make $60,000 a year, and they're going to be on Medicaid under Obamacare. This is where we are. The president's goal is to get as many people dependent on the federal government as possible. That's the objective here. And I love Nathan Dahm, and I'm looking forward to what his plan is. But this is going to be an effort that has to be won in the state of Oklahoma. It's not going to be won in Washington, D.C. And I got to tell you, I'll keep fighting, and I'll continue to fight. The last time we fought, this is what's amazing. Last time we fought, we got blamed for a government shutdown. You guys probably remember this. Look, here's the deal. If you look at how our government is supposed to operate, you're supposed to be represented in Washington, D.C. The way we represent you is we pass appropriation bills where we bring to the floor of the House one of 12. We have 12 appropriation bills. We bring them to the floor. When we do those appropriation bills, we bring amendments to the floor, and we modify the spending packages. We modify them for the needs of today. This year is not the same as last year, which is not the same as the year before. For 5 years in a row now, we've been doing continuing resolutions. CR after CR after CR. And what this means is that you're not represented. That's what it means. So we went back, you go back to July of 2013, we were passing appropriation bills. We passed Department of Defense appropriation bill, Homeland Security, Energy and Water Development. We passed military construction, veteran affairs. We passed all these appropriation bills back in July, which is how the government is supposed to be funded. It's how you get represented. And in each case, we sent them to the Senate, and Harry Reid tabled them. Why? Because he wanted to hold the entire discretionary budget of the United States hostage for a government shutdown unless we funded Obamacare. His goal was, you're either going to fund everything or we're going to fund nothing. That's the way he was able to accomplish his objective, and that's the way you lost your representation in Washington, D.C. It's not the vision of our founding fathers, it's not the vision of our Constitution, but it's the vision of this president, and it's the vision of Harry Reid. And this is what has to be reversed. If we are going to have representation in Washington, D.C., we can't go from continuing. The idea that you fund everything or we fund nothing, well, here's what we did. We said we'll fund everything, reluctantly, but we're not going to fund Obamacare. And guess what? We sent that to Harry Reid, and he tabled it. Then we said we'll fund everything, but we'll delay for 1 year Obamacare, which, if you'd heard the testimony on Capitol Hill, that was a very pragmatic position. I mean, talk about the security of the website. It's not secure. You put your information into the Obamacare website, pretty much anybody can get to it. And by the way, it's a portal that enables bad actors to not only get the information off of healthcare.gov, but it also enables people to go into other areas where your personally identifiable information may be. So it's not secure. And on top of it, everybody knew that the website wasn't ready, that it was going to be a disaster, that the rollout was going to get people kicked off of their health insurance plans and everything else. We heard all this over and over. The only person in Washington, D.C. that didn't know it was Barack Obama. And I don't know how that happened, that he somehow didn't see it coming. So we asked for a 1-year delay, and guess what? Harry Reid tabled it. Then we said, okay, look, the president is unilaterally given multi-billion-dollar corporations a 1-year delay on the employer mandate. Let's delay for 1 year the individual mandate. The individual insurance marketplace, as everybody has seen, is a wreck right now. And we said, let's just delay that for 1 year. And we funded the whole government, delayed that for 1 year, which, by the way, is only a $95 fine. And we sent that to Harry Reid, and he tabled it. Now the government shuts down. Then we said, we'll open the government, but we want to have a negotiation. So we had a conference. We appointed conferees to a conference committee. Harry Reid tabled it. They were either going to fund everything or they were going to fund nothing. This was not the Republican shutdown. The Republicans were the only ones doing anything to fund the government, and we were doing it in regular order back in July. This is lie after lie after lie.
Shut down government places that didn't need.
Isn't it amazing that when the government did shut down, the Obama administration had everything ready to wall off open-air monuments like the World War II Memorial? I mean, how many millions of dollars did they spend? There's studies out there. I don't know what the numbers are, but they spent millions of dollars punishing Americans for the government shutdown that they created, by the way.
Yeah.
And of course, the media carried their water, blamed the Republicans. It just wasn't the case. And by the way, I'm not defending Republicans in this cause either. They're equally as guilty of putting us in the position that we're in. I'm a Republican because I believe in the Republican platform. Unfortunately, we have a lot of Republicans that are Republicans because they want to get elected. And that's not what we should be doing. Look, I've got to get to this basketball game. I want to tell you, it's an honor to be here. It is it is an honor to represent you in Washington, D.C. And I won't say it's a pleasure, but it is an honor. And God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. And I'm looking forward to hearing what Nathan Dahm is putting out today. And certainly, Nathan, I've got to go to this basketball game, but you and I will talk more. And certainly, if I can be supportive at the federal level, I will. So thank you guys.